Hey guys, so it's me Alexis and welcome to my astrology channel. I'm finally going to be posting another informative video after I think 7 months. It's been a while, so yeah, I'm so sorry about that. It is summer now, so hopefully this means I can post more videos. Today I'm going to be talking about compatibility. This is going to be a part of my series on astrological controversies, which is a series where I will be talking about several controversial issues in astrology. If you're interested in kind of, sending me an idea, go ahead and comment below. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel if you guys like what I'm doing. So without further ado, let's talk about compatibility. Now, if there's any question that I get on the daily, whether it be on my blog, on my Twitter, anything, compatibility is probably number one, with career being second. There's a large range of what kind of compatibility questions I get. So the first kind would be like the classic sun sign question, like, oh, I'm a Taurus sun, am I gonna work well with a Scorpio male? Stuff like that. Some of the questions that I get are literally just entire synastry charts written in text. The amount of questions I get and the kind of questions I get are massive. And with that being said, I do have my own thoughts about compatibility, but before I get to my own thoughts about compatibility, I kind of want to talk about the sides of compatibility. So we have this side that supports compatibility of all sorts, and we have another side that doesn't support compatibility. To be specific about the side that supports compatibility, there are definitely people who would support a sun sign compatibility, and then another side that's kind of like, okay, sun signs are just not, specific enough. Let's just talk about, placements like Moon, Venus, Mars, that whole thing. And then there's still people, on this side of the argument that wouldn't, use compatibility, period. I think the main question that's being debated here is, to what extent does astrology control us, if astrology is even controlling us at all? Because I would say that people who support compatibility in some way support the notion that astrology does have an effect on us, and because it does have an effect on us, it's going to affect the relationships you're going to get into. And then on the other side, I would say that it's not the astrology that controls us, it's us that controls the relationships. So that is the big question that's being debated here. Now, personally for me, being a Libra moon and rising, I kind of like to take the balanced way of things. I'm kind of in the middle. Now, here is my thought when it comes to compatibility. I think compatibility is extremely helpful. When you're confused about relationship issues, if you don't quite understand what your partner's doing or why they're doing certain things, I think compatibility would be a really great place to look, what's going on. Whether that be your synastry chart, your composite chart, your Davison chart, whatever you're looking at. But at the same time, I do agree with the notion that it's us who control our placements. It's not the astrology that controls us, it's us that kind of controls the astrology. I do think that any pairing, seriously, I believe that any pairing in astrology can work out. And I'm a living example of that. So I am a Libra moon and my boyfriend is a Cancer moon, and our moons are square, meaning that our emotional needs are extremely different. And I would definitely say that it's a challenge in our relationship, but it's not the end of our relationship. I would say that it's not the signs that determines the end of your relationships. It determines, the challenges, and it's up to you whether you want to take on the challenge or not. See, the good thing with astrology is that it gives you a really nice picture of what your relationships can potentially be, but you and your partner are the only ones that can create the outcome. Astrology really shows a lot of potential, but it doesn't really show the outcome of things. So when I see couples, asking me, oh, hey, my son is in Pisces, the person I like, their son's in Libra, like, it's not gonna work out because our sons are not working out. No, that's not the case. If you want something to work out, you better have enough love, enough dedication, and, anything than just solely relying on zodiac signs. I feel like a lot of the questions that I get regarding, you know, romance is also a little alarming, because I have some questions from people where they would ask me, hey, how would you get like this certain sign to like me? Or, hey, how would you know if this certain sign likes me? And I just feel so uncomfortable when it comes to those questions, because those questions imply, you know, a certain situation that I'm not comfortable with. For example, when someone questions me on how to get a sign to like you, I'm not comfortable with that, because I feel like you should just be yourself. When you try to get someone to like you, in a sense that's kind of manipulative. What you're trying to do is present a sense of self that is appealing to the other person, but that sense of self is constructed. It may not be genuine. So when someone, you know, asks me like how to get someone to like you of a certain sign, I just have, like, every muscle in me just wants to say, just be yourself. Really. Like, if they're not gonna figure out the true you now, they're gonna figure it out later. And they might as well figure it out now, because it's easier when someone figures out who you truly are early on the road rather than later on the road. So there's that. And then the other thing that I'm really uncomfortable with is when someone asks me, you know, how can you tell if this certain sign likes you? I think one thing that is really, you know, underestimated in relationships is communication. Like, communication is key, and as cheesy as it sounds, it's really important. And when people, you know, tell me these questions on like how to tell if someone likes you, or, you know, any communication questions, a part of me just wants to say, you know, be straightforward. Like, you probably would know more than me, because you're not just asking me about a certain placement, you're asking me about a whole person I've never met before. A person who's unique, a person who's complex, someone who has a really completely unique chart. How am I going to know? I think you would have a better, you know, chance at knowing this person rather than me. So when it comes to answering those questions, I'm just like, you know, you should probably ask, or just be straightforward. You know, if you can't communicate well before the relationship, you can't do it during the relationship. That's kind of my mindset. Maybe it's because I'm an Aries Venus and I like things to be straightforward and, you know, direct and not so complicated, but I really think that's how relationships should go. Hi, Kat. Yes, hi. Get out of the camera. So those are my thoughts when it comes to compatibility. I support the notion of using compatibility to kind of see, you know, the potential of a relationship, but I do not support the use of compatibility for things that are not really realistic or helpful to a relationship. That's pretty much it on compatibility. With these videos, it's really, you know, you either take my view or you leave your view. All I hope with this video is that you get to construct your own views on certain debatable topics in astrology. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my video on compatibility. If you guys have any comments, go ahead and comment below. Kind of tell me, you know, what you guys think about this whole thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye guys, and hopefully I'll be posting more videos.